Vision. Vision. Good evening, Jaden. Okay. Okay, push together. Okay. There we go. See you. Please talk. Jaden. Beautiful. Can you vision? Vision. Good evening, Jaden. Okay. Okay, push together. Okay. There we go. See you. Please talk. Jaden. Beautiful. Can you?
Man, listen, Will Smith, we gotta talk. Yeah, I know you a legend and all, but even legends need a reality check when it comes to their offspring's wardrobe crimes. Did you see what your son walked out in? That ensemble looked less fashion forward and more fashion fell down the stairs. Now, somebody told him this was the move. Well, whoever it was, they must have been trolling harder than a Twitter bot phone. This ain't fashion, this is trust fund kid cosplay at its finest. You know, cosplay is when grown folks play dress up. But at least Comic-Con folks got a theme. His theme is, look, Dad, I'm edgy. Let's talk about times ensemble, cohesion, times and times, aesthetic, intent, asterisk. Those are fancy terms for outfits that make sense and actually having a reason to wear them. He had neither. The only thing cohesive about that look is how every piece screams, help me, I'm lost. Now you might be thinking, but he wants to stand out. Sure, but there's standing out, and then there's looking like you're late for a TikTok audition to play Confused Nepo Baby #3. Anyone else try that and security's escorting you to the back alley? Listen, Will, next time just send them out in one of your old Fresh Prince blazers. At least then, the confusion would be retro. Here's the real crime. Nobody told Will Smith's son no. That's what happens when your allowance comes with a tax bracket and your bedtime stories are Oscar speeches. They say confirmation bias is when you only hear what you want to, and this family's got a gold medal winning case. You ever heard of echo chambers? That's when you surround yourself with people who only agree with you. In Will Jr.'s case, it's not just an echo, it's a surround sound system blasting, yes, King. Every time he grabs his closet's weirdest item. Let me tell you a story. When I was a kid, I wore mismatched socks to school one day. My mama didn't say, you expressing yourself. She said, boy, if you don't fix that, you expressing yourself straight back to your bedroom. But when Junior does it, suddenly it's avant-garde. Man, please, that's not avant-garde. I've never heard the word budget. Kids, if you listening, your parents saying no sometimes is the ultimate style consultant. Unless you want to end up on the red carpet looking like you lost a bet at art school. Let's dissect this look, shall we? First off, those pants massive enough to smuggle family secrets, generational trauma, and maybe even a spare backup ego. That's what they call oversized tailoring, but this is less trend-setting, more tent sale at REI. And the shoes, redder than a Netflix password sharing crackdown. A stylist might call it a statement colorway, but the only statement here is, I just stepped in some Hollywood guilt and couldn't wipe it off. Now let's talk about the head-defying times, gravitational equilibrium times like it's got beef with Isaac Newton. Leave me alone, I'm misunderstood. Isn't that the unofficial slogan of every rich kid who thinks a messy bun means you've achieved enlightenment? This is what happens when you confuse creative direction with, let's see what happens if I get dressed in the dark. Now, you might be thinking, maybe he's making a statement? Sure, but the only statement he's making is, I own more mood rings than sense. Here's the thing about growing up rich, you start mistaking confusion for creativity. You see, true creativity is about times innovation, times and times intentionality, times finding new ways to say something meaningful. But when every bad idea gets a yes and a stylist on retainer, suddenly I got dressed by accident becomes an art exhibit. Now, I get it. Rebellion is cool. But this isn't rebellion. This is what happens when you've never had to sneak out the house because your parents are too busy promoting your mixtape. Let me ask you, audience, when's the last time you saw a celebrity child pull off a look that was genuinely disruptive for the right reasons? Usually it's just disruptive to everyone's retinas. He's got the, I'm so deep, nobody understands me. Look, but the only thing deep here is the pile of designer invoices waiting for Dad's black card. So spare me the art defense. This ain't art. This is what happens when you've got endless resources but zero resistance. Call it creative inflation. The more money you pump in, the less sense comes out. Let's wrap this up. The look says it all. I got therapy at 9, a movie deal at 10, and I'm still upset. The performance of pain, folks. It's the modern privilege flex. Show the world you suffer, but make sure you do it in a limited edition hoodie. You know what's really tragic? When your feelings pay the rent literally. Album dropping soon. My trauma bought these shoes. Lyrics by my stylist and beats by my therapist. Now you might say, isn't it brave to be vulnerable? Sure, if you pair vulnerability with authenticity. Not when you accessorize your existential crisis with Louis Vuitton and a PR team on speed dial. The resolution? Maybe try humility, or at least a mirror. To everyone out there, be different, but don't confuse expensive confusion for genuine depth. And will, next time, just let him wear sweatpants. At least then, we know he's truly suffering.